Mrs. Twiddle's necklace. Mrs. Twiddle had a sister called Julia, and one day on Mrs. Twiddle's birthday, Julia sent her a bead necklace. Mrs. Twiddle was delighted with it. She showed it proudly to Twiddle. "Look, Twiddle," she said, "did you ever see such dear little beads? All different colors and all sizes and shapes. Julia must have threaded this pretty necklace herself. She always was a clever one with her hands." "Very nice, dear, very nice indeed," said Twiddle. "It will look beautiful with the new dress I have given you." It did. It went with it very nicely, and Mrs. Twiddle enjoyed going out to tea in her new dress, wearing the string of tiny colored beads around her neck. She was really very proud of her new necklace and liked it very much. One day, just as she was going out shopping, the necklace broke. Mrs. Twiddle was dreadfully upset. Some of the beads were left on the string, but most of them went tumbling and bouncing all over the floor. "Oh, look at that now!" said Mrs. Twiddle in dismay. "Twiddle, come and pick them up for me, quick! I can't stop, or I shall miss the bus." "Certainly, love, certainly," said Twiddle, folding up his newspaper carefully and getting out of his chair. "Dear, dear, what a pity! But don't you worry now. I'll find every one of the beads, and you can take them to the jeweller's and get them properly rethreaded. Twiddle, be sure you put them somewhere safe when you have found them all," said Mrs. Twiddle, putting on a hat. "Now don't you put them somewhere silly where I shall never find them. Put them in the little jug on the dresser. That would be a good place for them." "All right, dear," said Twiddle, busy hunting for the beads on the floor. "Goodbye. Don't miss the bus. I'll have all the beads found and put away safely by the time you come back." Mrs. Twiddle hurried off to catch her bus. Twiddle went on looking for the beads. It was astonishing how far they had bounded and rolled. The cat came strolling in as he was hunting for them, and was astonished but pleased to find Twiddle on all fours on the floor. She had an idea he meant to play with her, so she playfully leapt at him, knocking about 20 beads out of his hand as she did so. "Just the sort of silly thing you would do," said Twiddle, staring at the cat in disgust. "Go away. I never knew such a cat for coming in when it wasn't wanted. Go and catch mice." The cat understood the word mice and ran about excitedly looking for one, getting in Twiddle's way in a most annoying manner. Every time he put his hand under the sofa or chair to get a bead, the cat put out her paw and patted him so that he kept dropping the bead. "Go away," he said to the cat. "Who can pick up beads with you bothering round like this? My gracious, what a lot there are all over the place. I shall never find them all with you gambolling around." The cat felt that Twiddle was not really pleased with her company, and she strolled out, tail in air. Twiddle was glad. Now he could find the beads quickly, put them away, and sit down to read his paper. He found all he could, and stood up with them safe in his hand. Now, where did Mrs. Twiddle tell him he could put them? "Ah, in the jug on the dresser, of course," said Twiddle. He went to the dresser, reached up, and popped all the beads into the jug. But they didn't make the little rattling sound he expected to hear. So he reached down the jug and looked into it. It was half full of milk. Bother! Now he would have to empty the milk into the flat plate and scrape out all the beads and dry them. Mrs. Twiddle wouldn't be at all pleased to see them swimming in the milk. So Twiddle poured the milk into a flat enamel plate and then went to get a spoon to scrape out the beads. The cat came in whilst he was getting the spoon and saw the milk in the plate. How nice of Twiddle to set out so much milk for her, she thought. She jumped up on the table and began lapping it. Twiddle heard her and was angry. He shooed her away. You again, always interfering. I suppose you have swallowed half the beads. The cat thought that Twiddle was most unreasonable that afternoon. She went to the window sill, sat down in the sun, and began to wash herself slowly and thoroughly, watching Twiddle out of one of her bright green eyes as she did so. Stare all you like, silly animal, said Twiddle, who was not fond of the cat. It's not my fault the beads went into the milk. It's Mrs. Twiddle's. She should have remembered there was milk in the jug. Twiddle got all the beads out and carefully dried them. He emptied the milk back again into the jug, spilling quite a lot on the floor as he did so. You can lick that up, he told the cat. It will save me getting a cloth to wipe up the mess. But the cat had had enough of Twiddle that afternoon. She felt quite certain that as soon as she leapt down to lap up the spilt milk, Twiddle would send her away again. So she took no notice and went on washing herself. You really are a most annoying and disobedient cat, said Twiddle. Most disobliging. Now I've got to wipe up the mess myself. When he had wiped it up, he stared at the little pile of beads. What should he do with them? Where would a safe place be? He looked at the dresser. What about putting them in another jug? But there was no jug there. They were all in the larder. Well, what about the teapot? That's an even better place, thought Twiddle, and he took it down from the shelf. He put the beads into it, then put on the lid. There now. They are perfectly safe. Isn't that good? He took up his newspaper, sat down in his chair, and began to read. He had a very peaceful time till Mrs. Twiddle came back. She brought her sister Julia with her. Hello, Twiddle dear, said Mrs. Twiddle. Wasn't it lucky? I met Julia and told her I had broken my necklace, and she said she would come back and have tea with us and thread the beads again herself. Now, wasn't that kind of her? Oh, very, said Twiddle. Very kind indeed. Shall I put the kettle on to boil, dear? No, I'll do that, said Mrs. Twiddle, who knew that Twiddle would probably put the kettle on and forget to light the gas. You show Julia the beads and get out my work basket so that she can get the needle and thread ready to mend the necklace after tea. Twiddle gave Julia the work basket and then looked around for the beads. Where had he put them? The beads, Twiddle, said Julia. Where are they? What did you do with them? Asked Mrs. Twiddle. Did you put them into that jug? Oh, yes, I did, said Twiddle. But wait a minute. The jug had milk in it, so I had to take out the beads after all. It was such a business. Well, where did you put the beads? After that, said Mrs. Twiddle impatiently. The cat looked at Twiddle as if it could tell him. Twiddle looked at the cat, but he simply could not remember where he had put those beads. He felt in his pockets. He looked in the little jar on the mantelpiece where odds and ends were often put. He opened the desk and looked there. Oh, Twiddle, for goodness sake, stop fiddling about and find the beads, said Julia. You must know where you put them. The cat knew, but Twiddle still didn't. He really had a very bad memory indeed. Oh, let's have tea, and perhaps Twiddle will remember by that time, said Julia. Here's the teapot, said Twiddle, anxious to help. He took the teapot to the stove and stood it there to warm it. Mrs. Twiddle took off the lid and popped in 4 spoonfuls of tea. Then she poured the boiling water in. Nice hot cup of tea, she said. It will do us all good. They sat down to tea. There was bread and butter and jam and some nice new chocolate buns. Twiddle felt he was really going to enjoy his tea. Sugar and milk, Julia? Asked Mrs. Twiddle, and put them both into Julia's cup. Then she poured out the tea, and Twiddle handed the cup to Julia. Then Mrs. Twiddle poured out Twiddle a cup of tea and then one for herself. The beads came rushing out of the spout with the tea and settled down at the bottom of each cup. Everyone took sugar, so they had to stir their tea. Twiddle stirred his sharply and then gazed at it in astonishment. All kinds of little round colored things surged round and round the surface as he stirred it. What are they? Thought Twiddle. Bubbles? Julia also stirred her tea and looked down at it in surprise. As for Mrs. Twiddle, she was really alarmed. Don't drink the tea, she cried. There's something wrong with it. Insects or something. Goodness gracious, how disgusting. Twiddle stared down at his cup and an awful thought came into his head. Beads. He had put the beads into the teapot for safety and he had forgotten. So Mrs. Twiddle had made tea out of tea leaves, hot water, and beads. Now what would she say? Mrs. Twiddle got some of the beads into her spoon and stared at them in astonishment and anger. My beads, she said. Why, they are my beads. Well, just fancy that. So they are, said Twiddle. How did they get into the tea? Said Julia in surprise. Are there any in the teapot, dear? Whilst Mrs. Twiddle was looking, Twiddle got up very quickly and left the room. He went into the garden and sat down in the woodshed. He felt that he knew everything that Mrs. Twiddle and Julia would say. He really didn't want to hear it. It was a pity to Mrs. T, but the woodshed would be much more peaceful than the kitchen. The cat walked in and stared at Twiddle. It made him angry. You go away, said Twiddle. Just come to gloat over me, haven't you? Well, you go and tell Mrs. Twiddle and Julia that they're always making a fuss about nothing, and I am not going to stand it. See? But the cat wasn't bold enough to say anything like that to Mrs. Twiddle. No, she just sat there waiting for Mrs. Twiddle to come and fetch Mr. Twiddle in. She knew there would be some fun then.